This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. We made it. It is what? Oh, sorry. It's Friday! I got you off guard.
Yeah, I'm like,
I know,
we're
I'm
just
making
moving things around the desk here.
Oh, I'm so lucky. It's May 8th. I'm Tori in the studio today with my lovely friend and co-host, Erica Cobb. Our other co-host, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You look so cute.
As do you.
Thanks.
I feel like we're doing this like spring
thing.
Like, yeah.
Now, I thought mine was a sundress and instead I'm a sausage, so we're just going to keep it there,
stop
all right?
it.
Okay. Our other co-hosts are safe and staying inside, but joining us right now is the one, the only. It's a girl panel. It's Lindsay Granger. Hey, girl. Oh, she's
What's
doing
up?
it. She's doing it. I like your denim, looking cute. How you doing? Good?
You know what? I begged Kiri to wear this because I know that I can't wear it on set. So this is me getting away with this.
That's hilarious. Kiri's our wardrobe stylist, and I'm sure she's like, oh my God. All right, we are, of course, going to change gears here. We are kind of laughing, but we have, if you've all been following us, we've been getting a ton of new viewers on this. A huge update in the shooting death of Ahmaud Arbery, the former cop, and his son involved in the fatal shooting in Georgia were arrested last night by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. They face murder and aggravated assault charges for his death back in February. The arrests came after this shocking video was leaked online earlier this week. Remember, it shows men in a pickup truck, those men chasing Arbery down while he's out jogging. There is a struggle between Arbery and one of the men, and multiple shots can be heard. Again, we want to say that today, this is hard to say, would have been Arbery's 26th birthday. Yeah, so let's get into this as deeply as it is. First off, happy birthday. I hope the family is okay or grieving, I know. But what's interesting to me, Erica, is that they saw the tapes back in February, and so that didn't lead to the arrest. It's when we saw the tapes that led to the arrest. And I think we can't forget that. They had this for 60 days and did nothing. How do you feel about it, Erica?
I think it's very telling because we also have to think about how many of these acts have happened without video surveillance. And even with the tapes, and we're seeing this with our own two eyes, people are still questioning a lot of things. So imagine if there was nothing to support the fact that he was allegedly killed in cold blood, which is what my opinion of the situation is. This is, I would say it's a win, but the win doesn't really happen until justice is served. And justice is served when these two are convicted. And then it's further served when we stop this racial discrimination and killing innocent people in the middle of streets. That's when justice is served.
Yeah, and I think also, I'd like to know more about the entire Georgia Bureau of Investigations of what's going on at that police station that had this, again, this tape. We don't know what happened before or after, but it's seemingly to me enough to arrest someone, you would think, 2 months ago. Lindsay, how are you feeling about it today? I know this has taken all of us, let's be honest, really hard. How are you feeling?
You know what? It's a deep breath. It's just like, okay, wow, one thing worked in our favor. I think that Sean King shared a text message that his mom shared last night, the mom of Ahmaud, and she said, I'm relieved and I'm tired. I think that everybody is exhausted. I was calling for people of all different backgrounds to walk with us in this fight, and I think that everybody who did join in on that and help get that petition signed and help them arrest these two men did us a huge favor, and now I think we need to keep pushing, because if this is just something where they arrested him for show to kind of keep us quiet, we're going to need more action to be taken. And so as we have this video and we want a fair trial, we want to see a different outcome than what we saw with Trayvon. We want to see something that actually sits well with us to show us that you think that our lives are just as valuable as yours.
Wow. So for everyone out there also, just a shout out to Sean King again. He was on our show as an interview, and he really helped gather people into a grassroots effort to get these people in jail. So a shout out to Sean King. And also I just want to say, look, you might not agree with us all the time here. It might not be what you think of that video, but you can never ever say that DBL will not be honest, will not be sure to show you the actual story and give you our honest opinions. So write us in. We'd love to hear from you as well. Moving on, and happy birthday, Ahmaud. More and more states are reopening in some form. 44 states are easing social distancing restrictions, even as coronavirus cases continue to rise in some parts of the country. But a large majority of you guys, the Americans, say 64% say reopening is not worth the risk of more lives being lost. That's according to a new poll out today. Meantime, anti-lockdown activist Shelley Luther is now free. Remember, I told you about her yesterday. The Dallas salon owner had been sentenced to 7 days in jail when she refused to close down her business. She's telling Fox News she's not sorry. Let's take a look.
How was jail? Well, I'm sure it wasn't pleasant, and I heard there's coronavirus in that jail.
It's definitely not pleasant. I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to apologize. That was the last thing I was going to do, honestly.
Okay, again, we want to be careful with this story. There's nuance here. Some people need to feed their kids. It's not all about my rights. They need food on the table. So I get this. Are we opening too early? DBL Nation, we always go to you. We want to know what you think. So head over to dblvote.com. Weigh in on this discussion. Lindsay, is the economy worth people's lives? I know I'm saying that and it seems weighted, but that's sort of the argument here. Am I right? How do you feel?
Right, I think there's two sides to it. So like when you think about people's livelihood, that's why this woman was like, no, I need to feed my family and everybody in my salon does. So that's a valid point and a valid statement, which is why we can get into the conversations of whether we need more funding, more help, and a way to figure out how to help everybody in this country in more ways than one $1,200 check. I think that we don't have this under wraps at all, right? We need to look at science, look at real information. We can't just make up when this is going to be over. And so I don't know if we're opening up too soon, but to have a second wave of this, as I always say, is just going to be more detrimental to the economy in the long run.
Yeah. Erica, do you have a quick bite on this?
Yeah, I'm glad that she was released from jail and they decided that during this pandemic, or ever really, this wasn't a big enough violation for her to serve jail time. I hope that that same line of thinking is applied across the board, especially for people who are ending up in jail for not social distancing during a pandemic when they can't social distance in jail. So let's use this as a precedent that we don't believe that this is a time to be throwing people in jail for inconsequential reasons as in the grand scheme of things, and apply it across the land.
I think that's fair. Let us know what you guys think. Do you think maybe we should be arresting these people or fining these people or letting these people go because they have their rights? DBL, it's a lot of opinions and we want to hear from you. DBL, oh, and the viewer vote, I'm so sorry. We have, it said 76% say we are opening up too soon. So that is a 77, excuse me, a large percentage of you, while 23 say no. So percent of you. Let us know what you think in Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to read your comments. But again, we are always live and honest, aren't we? Coming up, Dr. Payal Kohli is back with important information for you and your family. She's answering those coronavirus questions when we return. Plus, in honor of Nurses Week, we're speaking with a nurse battling on the front lines and helping those who are being left behind, the homeless. You really don't want to miss her inspiring story. And another week down at DBL with most of our crew working from home, just a couple of us here in the studio. Chris Clark's getting his fishing rod ready for a good day of Friday fishing. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. We are all about facts, not fear, and spring wardrobes, I think. We are also about that. And of course, providing you information to keep you and your loved ones safe. So another girl panel. This is amazing. Dr. Pyle Coley joins us today. Oh, in a lovely, like, black and white leaf pattern. Is that what it is? Oh,
Yes.
there's a capelet.
Yes.
Whoa.
Right.
Don't fly away.
I was hoping you would notice. Yeah.
I love it. All right, Dr. Coley, before we get to the viewer questions, the state of California just identified nail salons as the primary source of their outbreak. In some states, nail salons are actually starting to open back up. Doc, should we be getting our nails done?
Yeah, so Tori, this was actually a little bit surprising to me because in nail salons, most technicians normally wear masks and gloves. And in fact, Governor Newsom even commented that at the salon that the outbreak occurred at, the technicians were actually wearing masks and gloves. So I think, given that finding, it's really important at this time to avoid it if you can, because there's a lot of close contact. In fact, and they're actually also touching your hands. So the risk of infection is pretty high, even if they're wearing those masks and gloves. And you can see by my nails that I need to go too, but I'm putting it off.
Practice
so
what she
I think
preaches.
you should too.
I like it.
Well, let's get to viewers' questions because Melinda writes, how does Dr. Coley feel about getting in a Lyft or Uber? What are precautions I could take to keep myself and the driver safe?
So I would try to avoid it if you can. Of course, that's the safest option, but I know sometimes that's not possible and you're just stuck. You have to do it. So there are a few tips I have. The first is that both you and the driver should be wearing masks. The second, do not let the driver handle your luggage because their hands are going to touch that handle that you're later going to touch. So put it in the trunk yourself. The third is actually have a ton of alcohol wipes on you and wipe down everything, the door handles, the seat belt, everything that you're touching, and then sanitize your hands right after. And then finally, keep all those windows open when you're in the car.
Wow. All right. Jake writes in, like many, my office plans on opening soon. They're giving us each one mask. How many masks should I really have?
Really, Jake, you should be actually changing your mask every time you wear it, but at the minimum, at least once a day. So if they're only giving you one mask and it's a paper mask, that's not going to last very long, and you're not really going to be able to sanitize it. I would supplement those with cloth masks that you can at least have one for every day of the week.
Wow. Now, do you have more than one mask? You seem very prepared. Erica, do you have more than one mask?
I have a lot of masks because I have been going all through social media looking at, because masks are the new hustle.
It is really the new
Everybody
hustle.
is making masks. So it's a good way to support
Victoria's
people.
Secret is making masks.
No way.
Yeah, but I mean, independent, like just private citizens are creating masks to supplement income as well. So it's a great way to, like, you know, support small business as well as get some masks. I have about 25 right now.
And you know, ladies, it can also be a fashion statement, right? Because you can
Yes,
have a
you gotta
nice
make it
mask
fashion.
that makes a fashion statement.
I'm going to have one that says, knowledge is power. Huh? Yeah. All right, before we go, it is time. She didn't even laugh. The doctor is in on it now. It's time for Dr. Coley's Silver Lining, L'chaim to Life. And today we want to give a special shout out to all the mamas.
Exactly right, Tori. So my silver lining today is my mom and all the moms out there, because the moms sacrifice for us. They enrich our lives and they help us through life's up and downs. And they're actually our silver lining every single day. So I just want to say, moms, we love you and happy Mother's Day.
Oh, that's so nice.
I love that.
Yeah, we're both really close with our moms too, so it means a lot to us. And every mom who's out there, dog moms included, happy Mother's Day, happy early Mother's Day, of course. Again, thank you, Dr. Coley, with your cool capelet. Can we see that, you flying away again?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there she goes. All right, Dr. Coley will be back Monday. Thank you again. If you have a question about coronavirus you want answered, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. There is no panic here. There's prevention, there's precaution, and cool masks I'm going to be getting into. Isn't that right? We'll be right back.
We all know that movement
Frontline workers have been proven to be modern superheroes, and Nurse Ann Papoff-Wallace is no exception. Get this, when she's not treating patients, she's volunteering her time in the homeless community, making sure no one gets left behind. Earlier, Lindsay had a chance to speak with her in today's DBL Spotlight.
Okay, Nurse Ann, what kind of nurse are you? So do you volunteer with homeless, or is it part of your job?
So I volunteer with the homeless. It's not part of my job. It's just a passion that I have. I'm actually a psychiatric registered nurse by trade. So it's what I do is mainly work with the homeless.
So how has COVID changed that for you?
I normally volunteer with the homeless about 1 day a week. And since COVID, I am out there in the homeless encampments 5 to 6 days a week. Some weeks I'm there 7 days a week. They really didn't understand what was going on when things got shut down. And so it's taken a lot to help them kind of maintain a steady state that they normally would have.
Now, I'm sure you've heard that you are a real life hero, but what kind of emotional toll is this taking on you?
You know, seeing human suffering is always hard, and this has been especially hard. I've got people out there who normally are able to go and visit elderly parents once or twice a week. Well, they don't want their parents to get sick, so they're not able to do that. We at home can call a loved one if things get difficult. We can reach out. We have FaceTime. We have all these ways to connect with our family, even though we can't physically connect. They don't have that right now. So it's seeing them suffer and seeing them not be able to have those basic connections is the hardest thing. And that's why I really do try to be out there as many days a week as I can, so I can be that human interaction with them so they can still have that.
I know that it's tough for homeless people to stay sanitary and wash their hands in the same way that we do. So what is the hardest part for you?
So that's probably the hardest part, is the sanitation piece. Normally the homeless have places like fast food restaurants or libraries, gyms that they can go and take showers, wash their hands, do that basic sanitation stuff, do their laundry. And since everything's shut down right now, they just don't have that ability. So it's been really interesting. We've been filling water jugs, giving out a lot of hand sanitizer. When there was the run on hand sanitizer, got really hard for us to keep them safe and to help them stay clean.
Now, given the trauma that you see every single day, how optimistic are you for what comes out of coronavirus?
You know, I'm actually really optimistic about what's going to come out of coronavirus. I have seen so many people step up to help in the last 6 weeks. It's amazing. In my own community, there was a group on Facebook that was started called Helping Hands in Washington, and they literally, you put out needs and the community gathers things. It's been amazing to see the community come forward. I've put up things on my Facebook asking for needs for the homeless, and I've had friends and family from all over the country contact me. So I really think, honestly, as horrible as COVID is, I think as a society, we're going to come out better for this. I think we've learned to reconnect with one another.
I agree. Nurse Ann Papoff-Wallace, thank you so much for all that you're doing for everybody.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
welcome back. If you've been leaving your car parked for weeks, you might want to check the engine for rats. Goulet, yes, rats. We're chatting about it on today's DBL Drive, sponsored by CarShield. People living in big cities like New York City have noticed that, oh Lord, rodents are moving into their parked cars during their pandemic. NPR reporter Kelsey Snell tweeted she left her car parked for a week and was greeted by an unexpected surprise in her hood. Dealerships are also reporting an increase in people coming in with their engine lights on, only for it to be a rat setting it off. So many pictures of rats, and Erica's about to lose her lunch. For peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield, because CarShield protects you and their members from their high cost of auto repair. So call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. Lindsay, I'm going to go to you real quick. I'm not sure. Eric, are you okay?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my word. How often are you using your car, Linz? Are you like driving around doing drives?
Listen, I've never saved more money. I never go anywhere. This is awesome. Literally have one gas tank since I last saw you guys in March. But I do want to tell you that I had a squirrel, I believe, make a nest inside of my engine at one point when I lived in New York. So I know this is a true story because my engine started to catch fire, and I don't want to talk about what happened next.
Oh, no, that's like a disaster.
People in Harlem saved me.
It's actually more common than people think, but I also want to tell you guys, go to your cars anyway, because there is a ton of vandalism or cars being stolen right now because people aren't checking on their vehicle. I mean, in our neighborhood alone, I've passed 2 broken windows, and that's not even something that I'm used to seeing in that neighborhood. Woo. So make sure that you're checking on your car just to make sure that no one is like messing with it, or to make sure it's still there.
And to make sure the rats aren't there. We're getting comments in. Gabriel Garcia says, yeah, those rats get hangry. What are they eating?
Well,
so
the rats, it's a real problem in big cities right now.
Yeah, that's what they're saying
there's not
here.
enough food to sustain them. So they're like, there's cannibal rats now.
Oh God, murder hornets,
Is
cannibal
Denver
rats.
counting as a big city?
Sorry?
Is Denver counting as a big city? Do I need to go check my car?
I would still check your car.
And actually,
absolutely.
Kat G just wrote in, rodents in cars is quite common all the time outside of the cities in the suburbs. So everyone check your cars and just take a breath. Really quick before we go, we do need to say happy birthday to Sarah Clark. We hope you're watching. We hope you have a wonderful day. And this Sunday is, of course, Mother's Day. That's the hubby just standing there, Chris Clark. And as a tribute to all our DBL mamas, we wanted to end the show with a little shout out to them. So have a great weekend, everyone. See you on Monday. I love you, Mama Judy, Dr. Cobb.
Love you,
We love
Mom.
you. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.